You know your bench press. You've known it for years. It's a number you'd give somebody if they asked you how strong you are. Here's a different one though. For me, it's 80 pounds per hand, and for 60 seconds, I cannot put these down. You see, I weigh around 160 pounds, so in each hand is about half my body weight. And I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do this because I've not done farmer's carries this heavy in years. And this first attempt, you can see the balance in my left hand. I picked it up in the wrong spot. I've not trained for this. This is my first raw try for you on camera. And I don't know if I'm gonna make it because this left hand. Fail. Or maybe not, I don't know, let's see the timer. The whole purpose of this YouTube channel is to track my journey in a very real and raw way, not faking anything. I could easily do a minute. I know I can if I pick these weights up properly in the center. I did not even think to do that because you can see that left hand was completely unbalanced. But if I get it balanced, I'm quite positive I can do it for a minute because I just did it for a minute and it was completely off. But I want to use that demonstration as a very real example and real attempt for this new journey that I'm on in terms of farmer's carry, because 100 pounds isn't far away at all. So before we get into the science of all this, I want to explain a couple of things. The bench press, it's a great lift. It's also a lift where you're laying down, you're on a fixed path, and sometimes even have a spotter. This is the opposite what I just did. This really is one of those exercises that tells you whether all of the strength that you've been building over the years actually holds together. Because something I found is one issue with a lot of the numbers that you and I track in the gym is that they are all supported in one way or another. Like the bench press, your back is on a pad. Your leg press, the machine kind of holds the path of the lift. Even a deadlift, it's one rep at a time. You do your set, you put it down, you take a break, and then you repeat. What's really cool about these, a loaded carry, it doesn't let you rest. Your grip holds the entire load and is kind of a very fiery, functional move. Your core, it fights to keep your spine stacked and strong while two heavy objects try to pull you sideways in either direction. Your traps and upper back keep your shoulders from getting dragged out of that position. And the whole time your legs, they move it all at the same time, your whole body working and moving for 1 minute, which is under load. And that could be a long time depending on how heavy that is. That's why grip is what everybody kind of talks about when it comes to farmer's carries. And it's also why grip is kind of the wrong word for it. Your hands, they fail first. Squeezing a gripper, for instance, it won't move this number when you're trying to increase weight. Only picking up and carrying heavy things will do that. So let's talk about what counts as good depending on what your body weight is. All right, back inside because it's like 100 degrees out there. That was a very sloppy farmer's carry, but I'm telling you, that was my first take. That was raw. That's how I want to do this thing. Half your body weight in each hand. That's what it is. 60 seconds without putting them down. That's the goal. That's the starting point. Now that number, it comes out of Peter Attia's work, and I'm using it for one reason. It's the only version of this test that anybody actually put numbers on. Everything else is guys just arguing in comment sections. 2 minutes is the next tier. Double body weight for 30 seconds is the ceiling. For me, that's 340 pounds, and obviously that's not happening today. And I wanna be straight about what this actually is. It's a rule of thumb. It's not like a peer-reviewed cutoff. Nobody ran a trial establishing that 59 seconds means one thing and 61 means another. It's useful because it's specific and you can test it with 2 dumbbells. That's all you need. We're in a rental right now and you know all I have is really this bar and dumbbells. So you just saw me 80 pounds in each hand for 1 minute. I made it, and I want to be very careful about that phrase, I made it, because made it sounds clean. And as you saw, that was not clean. The last 15 seconds, my hands were basically opening whether I agreed or not. It was happening, especially this left hand. I was going to drop it because I picked up the dumbbell unevenly. I didn't even think to make note of that when I was picking them up. So I hit the standard, but I didn't hit it comfortably. Those are kind of different results, and I'm not blurring those two things together. comfortably and easily with uncomfortably. So after I give you these numbers on what your goal should be, go do this after you watch this video. 2 dumbbells and a timer. That's all you need. Body weight divided by 2, each hand, pick them up and start the clock and just walk. Don't just stand there, actually move and walk. Moving under load is pretty much the entire point of this entire move. And if you're standing still, you're kind of doing a different, easier exercise. And you can do it however you want, 20 feet out, 20 feet back. You saw how I did it. Keep going until the clock or your hands just quit or run out. Now, as I mentioned, grip is not everything here, but under 20 seconds, grip is probably definitely your limiter. And it's the only thing to work and really get strong at. That's the fastest way to fix the problem if you're under 20 seconds. That'll take days or weeks, not months. 20 to 45 seconds, normal for someone who lifts but has never really carried anything, especially farmers carries like this that are heavy. Your hands are fine. Your grip is a good starting point. They've never been asked to do something like this or do this specific job. 45 to 60, close enough that the gap is technique and pain tolerance more than strength. Past 60 and you're at the standard. Add weight or time once you get to that point. Don't repeat what you already own and are good at. That's your starting point. And if you can pass 90 seconds, find heavier dumbbells. You've basically outgrown the test and you're getting stronger. For women, the benchmark is 75% of body weight rather than 100%. If you have adjustable weights like I do, you have to be very, very careful with them. They're not meant to be thrown or dropped from heavy distances. Clear the floor around your feet before you begin and before you start this exercise. There are 3 reasons that most guys come up short when doing this. And only one of them is actually strength. First reason is you've never trained grip under time. Your hands have no idea what 90 seconds or even 60 seconds feels like with heavy load because you've really never asked them what it feels like. Number 2, you're gripping wrong. Most guys hold a dumbbell in their fingers, hanging off the top joints. And I have to be very real with you. At the end of that farmer carry, they were absolutely just hanging by my fingers. And that's the whole purpose of why I bought these adjustable dumbbells so I can start training this. Because the handle should sit deep at the base of your fingers. So your palm and your thumb, they do the work, all in there. That change alone is probably worth 15 seconds, if not more. And it really costs nothing except for focus and really building up the strength to do that and to hold the dumbbell in that area. 3, you're not breathing. And if I wasn't recording while doing the video, I think for this first try and this first attempt, I probably wouldn't have been breathing much either because I wasn't even thinking about it, to be honest with you. Because naturally, people, they hold their breath under load and they blow up at like 30 to 40 seconds because they're out of breath, they're out of air. It's not even the grip or strength. Breathe, short and shallow, but breathe. 2 of those are basically free because they're almost just mental. Before you decide that you're weak when attempting this, if you don't pass the test, check whether you're just doing one of these 3 things wrong or badly, like breathing or not breathing. 3 sessions a week, maybe 10 minutes each. Session 1, heavy and short. Half body weight per hand. And if you're intimidated to go straight at 60 seconds, in session 1, make it heavy and short. Half your body weight per hand and do sets of 30 seconds. And do that for as many rounds as you can. This will build actual capacity. Then for session 2, you can go for 60 seconds at half your body weight, or you can just even actually decrease, go lighter, but carry it longer. So maybe shoot for 50 to 75% of your body weight, holding for maybe 90 seconds, maybe for a few rounds. And I know the weight is less in this scenario, but what this does is it trains and teaches your hand what long is, what time is. And then session 3, go for it. Heavy set to failure so you know where you are. Once you do pass the half body weight per hand, do it for 2 sessions where you're feeling really strong about it, and then slowly add weight incrementally. And add dead hangs on your days off. This is my go-to, especially weighted hangs. I love them for building grip strength, for building my core, for just building my tolerance for carrying load in general. I can't say this enough, the hang and the carry feed each other. Hanging builds the grip endurance that the carry needs, and carrying builds the load tolerance that makes the hang easier. Train one and the other starts moving in the positive direction. And I've been kind of doing that backwards because I kind of started with hangs, as you know, before even getting these adjustable dumbbells for these carries. So essentially I've been hanging a lot, but not carrying much at all. And that's probably the whole story behind the result that you just saw today. I didn't even pick up the dumbbell properly. Now, the reason this works fast isn't muscle. 30 days isn't enough to build really anything meaningfully when it comes to muscle just by doing some of these carries. It's that most of what's limiting you right now is neural and technical, and that takes kind of just weeks to fix. Now, one caution, because it's the part that people probably skip. Your grip will feel ready before your elbows and connective tissues are. So if something like your inner elbow starts talking to you, just back the weight off a little bit. You don't want to hurt yourself. So don't force yourself to push through this if your body, your elbows, or certain muscles, they just don't feel ready. Because if you're here to get stronger, the last thing you want is an injury. So test yourself today and put it in the comments. Your body weight, what you held in each hand, and how long you did it for. In each hand. And if you take one thing from this video, your favorite lifts out there, bench press, deadlifts, they measure one thing each. This exercise measures whether any of it holds together. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe to this new YouTube channel as I track my fitness journey and provide the data to you as I do it. God bless.